How are you not dead, Sherman? My gunner's dead! My gunner's dead! I will ram you! Arrgh! There.
Hey, Sherman here, and we are back with some War Thunder. Today we're going to be looking at a game me and Roger did. This is another post commentary, but I just decided to do this video because of what we did. I don't think I died once. I'm not entirely sure. I can't quite remember. But this video, we ended up completely holding off the entire enemy team. Just the two of us entirely. Our entire team was nowhere to be seen, but we ended up holding off the entire enemy force. Not being able to catch my own thoughts there for a moment. But anyway, so somebody asked me to do a sort of semi-review of the Churchill gun carriage, or 3-inch gun carriage. However you want to say it. Either way, it is a good tank, but it does suffer the same issue as the Stug, for example, where if you get shot on the one side, your entire crew dies. If you get shot in the back, where those little box-like things are around the tracks, you're going to die. Your fuel tanks are going to explode. One other downside to this tank, as I get a beautiful shot onto that T-34 from a mile away, is that its speed really is not the greatest, but its turn rate is absolutely fantastic. And I think this has to do with the way the transmission is done in it. This tank is very responsive, and it feels like it has quite a bit of power behind it, but it's just not very fast. But at the same time, it's one of those things that it feels very responsive, so I think it's down to the transmission, to where how the gearing is done. The gun, however, how do I say this? I mean, I'm kind of on the fence on this. It's good, but not great. That's the best way I can describe it. Because what you're looking at, as I said in my earlier video, is that those are the only types of ammo you get, and they're really not the greatest. The gun's good. The gun is accurate as can be. But it's just that ammo. You don't carry very much of it. I mean, it's not bad for the ammo capacity, but we all know that's not the greatest. But anyway, moving up towards the middle objective, which I believe is C. I can't quite tell, because my screen is smaller doing post commentaries, so it's really hard to tell. I am sorry about that. Coming across the first of the problems of this match, the groups of T-34s. And I am not joking, there is a lot of T-34s in this game. And I think it's like in total, like I think I was going against like 5 of them right here in just this short little time. And we all know at this tier, those T-34s are just nothing to go against. In any case, trying to set up more of a hunkered down position, just keeping a nice open sight range down there towards A. Seeing a few T-34s on the move, trying my best to get some shots off, managing to snipe that driver. No idea on how I penetrated him by any means. That was just absolutely a ridiculous shot, because I should not have penetrated him by any circumstances. But it's just, now I'm looking it over, I have no idea how I did that. But getting a nice shot off onto the side of that T-34, finishing him off by killing the last of his crew, shooting at another T-34. Now note, guys, look how many shots I'm taking at the moment. I am not taking any damage. They have not been able to penetrate me at this range. And we all know that gun on the T-34 is kind of BS. Now this T-34, I think this was the one that kind of irritated me a little bit, because he rushed me. Yeah, matter of fact, it is this guy. And you'll see how many shots I land on him, but none of them go through compared to what was going on later on. So I have no idea what was going on between his tank and the others. So, if anyone wants to clarify that, leave in the comments. Tell me what I was doing wrong. Because I got some pretty BS shots on the other ones, and I'll even admit that for the angles. Even against the T-34. But, yeah, that was a bit odd. And seeing our teammate decide he wanted to suicide into him, which I have no idea why people like to suicide into things. Makes absolutely no sense. Coming around the corner, and somebody else finishes off T-34 before I'm able to fire a shot. So, unfortunately, that is that. And I decided to go ahead and move on to the next objective, where my friend Roger is already there. And Roger, actually, I think he's behind me at this point. Kind of funny having the Churchill gun carriage, be ahead of the, Panzer III that he was in. But anyway, deciding to select out in the bomber loadout because I know there's just an absolute butt ton of T-34s over there. So I decide to go out on a bomber, and luckily getting the Heinkel, only with a 3 bomb payload though, but it's still pretty damn good. A 3 bomb payload can be quite devastating considering those bomb sizes are enormous. Anyway, seeing the entire line of enemy tanks going down that field, I decided to aim a little bit ahead, and knowing for a fact that a lot of those were actually T-34s. Later on, you'll see that entire rush that comes over. When I landed those bombs, they decided not to move up. But in the meantime, getting a kill on a Matilda and taking some nasty Crusader, or not Crusader, but Armored Car Mark II AA damage. And that thing is kind of nasty for the cannons it gets. So for those that are flying, be warned. That thing can knock you out. Of course, it can. Of course, not thinking about any sort of AA can. Just depending on who's using it. Now, this AA dude right in front of me, I had no idea what he was trying to do. Just stopped right in front of me and no idea. I mean, maybe his game crashed. I don't know. He just sort of stayed there. So, no idea. Anyway, our team owns the 2 other points on the map, except for the one in the bottom right corner. But I believe that quickly changes as I try moving up to C. Now, Roger's already up there. And he was asking me for some help. And so I go over to support him. Seeing the few tanks that are... Oh, excuse me, guys. Every time I try to record. Seeing the few tanks that were already up there, I was like, oh, there's not too much of an issue. But knowing he's in a Panzer III J1... that can prove quite problematic. Although for some reason my cannon just decided to fire. I think that's because I tapped my touchpad. Because my touchpad is extremely sensitive. Anyway, trying to flank around, I went around the trenches here to get a shot on this Valentine that was giving him trouble. And so, lining up a shot, get a very nice shot onto the front of the Valentine, but it bounces, taking out his turret ring and his loader, I think. He tries to move up because he thinks there's somebody on a different side trying to shoot him, but is too oblivious to see me shooting him there. And taking the last shot and finishing him off. Anyway, decided to focus on the AA, but noticed I couldn't get a shot, so I decided to focus on his other Valentine. Now, this Valentine, I think, probably shit himself because he saw me and Roger here trying to get up all in his day, and Roger just, he even stated, is this fucker trying to run away from me? I said, yes, he is going to run into me. But I unfortunately was not able to get a shot, but I got a shot at T-34, bouncing it. Roger takes a shot at the Valentine, finishing it off. No idea where that T-34 went, but I did warn Roger about that just to make sure. And the pesky Matilda up there, he's not able to pen me, but I got him right in the commander's hatch, but sadly it bounced. But noticing the tank to my left, I decided to move over. And there goes Roger, taking out that tank as well. Shooting the SPAA right there. AA the AAC Mark 1 or something like that. But anyway, getting a beautiful shot right on the front, taking out all of its crew, but noticing that I'm also tracked as well. But what they don't realize is that I can turn pretty damn well with just one track. Anyway, this is where the big rush comes in. They are just piling over the hills, and it gets a lot worse than this. Getting a nasty shot off on that little armored car there, and seeing quite a few more tanks pop over, getting a nasty shot on a Panzer IV. But look on how many enemies are coming over. This is just ridiculous, people. And unfortunately, before I could get off my next few shots to fully end this, as they're peppering me with shots, the game ends. But look on how many enemy tanks are over there. And the thing is, so that goes down as, things with crappy teammates. They all sat back there and did absolutely nothing, while me and Roger, just sat there and pretty much held down the entire middle point and ended the game. And that's how, two people can actually hold off an entire team, just determining on who's playing. But anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next episode.